Okay, we got Gus writes in from Philadelphia. Hey, Joe and Al, great show. Been listening for about 2 years. Very cool.
Yeah.
My dad is 92 years young and has been taking RMDs as required. He doesn't need the money, so he transferred his investments in kind from his IRA to his brokerage account. One question is, given that the transfers are in kind, when is the best time of year to make the transfer? His vehicle of choice over the years has been preferred stocks as he enjoys the dividends, as well as the guarded type minimum 25 redemption value. Okay. He only invests in blue chip preferreds with little risk of bankruptcy. A required minimum distribution is that by law from a retirement account, you are required to take money out of the account and pay the tax. So let's assume that Gus's father, that is 92 years young, has $1 million in his retirement account, and his required distribution is $40,000.
Sure.
So he needs to pull $40,000 out of his account that year to satisfy the required distribution.
Yeah, it could be from January 1st to December 31st. Doesn't really matter when.
And the reason why is that the IRS wants to get their tax money
in that next tax year. So the reason why it's the following year is they take your balance of your IRA at December 31st of the year before. They figure out how much required minimum distribution you need to make, and you just have to take that out between January 1st, December 31st.
So they want to deplete the overall account over time. At 92, his RMD is probably not 4% on $1 million.
No,
it's probably closer to
8 or 10, maybe. I don't know.
It's even maybe higher than that. I got the table, but I'm not going to look it up and do his RMD. So anyway, so that $40,000 is 100% taxable. And so let's just assume he's in.
And it's ordinary income.
Right. So let's say he owes $10,000 in tax. You could either withhold the tax from the distribution and pay the IRS right there, or you could pay the tax out of outside money. Whatever you want to do, that $40,000 of the RMD is going to be 100% ordinary income tax.
Sure.
Taxable.
Right.
So what Gus's father's doing is that he's not taking the distribution in cash. He's not saying, hey, sell XYZ stock and give me $40,000 in cash and I'll just pay the tax or I'll withhold the tax. He has blue chip stocks and preferred stocks.
Sure.
And he's saying, you know what? I want to transfer $40,000 of shares of XYZ stock and just give me the stock and put it in the brokerage account.
Yeah, which you can do.
Which is great. It's a good strategy.
Right.
He has to pay the tax still.
Sure, right.
And so when he does his taxes or he does estimates or whatever the case may be, he pays the tax. But he's just taking the stock out of the retirement account in kind and now putting it into a brokerage account.
Right.
So he's wondering, what is the timing? What's the best timing on this?
Beginning, middle, end?
I mean, that's a market timing question. In a sense, because let's say if the stock goes down, you could get a lot more shares out if you wait until the stock is down, and you probably want to do that so you get as many shares out of the retirement account with the least amount of tax possible.
Yeah, that's the best answer. If you've got a great crystal ball.
Yeah, but no one has a crystal ball. So,
maybe another way to think about it is if you do it earlier in the year, the dividends on those shares will be currently taxable, but at least they'll probably be taxed at the capital gains rate because most of them would be qualified dividends, if not all, right? Whereas if you left it in the IRA, you just have dividends in an IRA, you'd have higher ordinary income later. So maybe that's a way to think about it.
Yeah, then I guess to piggyback on that is, does he need the income? So if he's taking, let's say, the $40,000 out, he takes that out in January, it's going to pay the dividends over time, but it's going to be taxed at capital gains. But if he doesn't need the income, he's paying tax on income that he doesn't need.
Well, that's true too. Then in that case, you wait till the end of the year.
Then you wait until December.
Yeah, right. So it depends, I guess.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.